Hi, everyone. This is Rick. The story of the Antichrist is a story that best can be summed up through the examples of history. The Antichrist is not what we think he is or who we think he is. Anyone who tells you they know who the Antichrist is doesn't. Let's listen to history here. God rose up Pharaoh. He rose up Pharaoh to glorify himself, to bring his people into the land of Egypt, to enslave them so God can prepare them and make them ready to enter into the promised land. And when the time was right, he brought up Moses, rose Moses up in a position to deliver his people out of that bondage of Egypt into their promised land. They were delivered from that bondage, but it took time for them to enter into the promised land. There was only one Pharaoh, one man who was Pharaoh, but there were many pharaohs. One man, but different men. If you have ears to hear to the Spirit, listen to what the Spirit's saying. Rome was risen up. Caesar was risen up in order to prepare God's people all over the world. Not only the Israelites, but those people of God that have an answer to call, risen up to prepare everyone for their deliverance from the slavery of sin. And when the time was right, Jesus was born, died, broke the bonds of death, and made that pathway sure for us to enter into the kingdom of God, the promised land. We were delivered from sin, delivered from bondage. But the time of the Gentiles is a time of wandering, a time of gathering in those people, a time of trying and testing his people before that final deliverance and entrance into the promised land. There was only one Rome, one Caesar, but not the same man. Listen to what the Spirit says. In the time of the Antichrist will be risen up. And in that rising up, the final preparation of God's people who have been called from all over the world to him, who have answered that call, will be taking place until we are ready. And when we're ready, then Christ will return. And we will finally enter in to the fulfillment of his promise in the eternal kingdom of the living God in our resurrected bodies through Jesus Christ. History mapped out exactly what the spiritual salvation was going to be. There was only one man who's the Antichrist, but not necessarily the same man. We have ears to hear to the Spirit. Listen to what Spirit is saying. We're not going to know who, what, when, where, or why. We will see the winds. We will know the winds of change. We will know the wind of the Spirit and listen to what he is telling us, and we will be ready when that time comes. And we will not be surprised. We will not see it coming through our eyes, or our ears, or through our intellect, but we will see it coming in the Spirit. Until next time, God bless.